everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Black Liberation Tech podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renee Jordan, and today we are going to take a look at the GPT I created for the Black Liberation Tech website, Janiyah GPT. So let's go ahead and get started by going to the Black Liberation Tech website. All right, so here we are at the Black Liberation Tech website. As you can see here, once again, it's in English as well as Spanish. We are going to hover over Janiyah GPT. Instead of going straight to start a conversation, you have another option. Let's go to the intro workshop. Okay, now these are the prompts that I'm going to demonstrate with Janiyah. They are facilitator prompts. So these facilitator demo prompts, you're welcome to do as well. I just put them here so that I can do a little show and tell. So this first one, bias awareness prompt. Oh, and if you do them, please let me know how it goes because your responses shouldn't be the exact same as mine, and I would love to hear what you come up with. Now, true to form, I have a Word document pulled up to the side so I can paste my results so that I can go back to these later and see how things turn out. All right, so let's start with bias awareness prompt. And so it says, "Hi, Janiyah. When suggesting STEM careers for students, how do you avoid reinforcing stereotypes or excluding certain communities? What should facilitators double check?" Okay, now I'm going to copy and paste this prompt. And because I'm the facilitator, I'm going to provide a little bit more context. I'm going to say, "Hi, Janiyah. I am facilitating an AI literacy workshop. Now, when suggesting STEM careers for students, how do you avoid reinforcing stereotypes or excluding certain communities? What should facilitators double check?" Okay, so Janiyah provided a good amount of information. I'm going to copy this and add this to my Word document so I can keep all of these good nuggets in mind and refer to them later. So let's see what Janiyah had to say. "Hi, facilitator. I love this question. The fact that you're asking it already signals ethical leadership. When suggesting STEM careers in AI literacy spaces, especially with Latinas, Afro-Latinas, Black women, and girls, we have to be intentional. AI systems often mirror historical patterns. If we're not careful, we can unintentionally reinforce the same exclusions we're trying to dismantle. Let's walk through this in a liberation-centered way. Number one, first, recognize how bias sneaks in. AI and humans both pull from patterns. If STEM examples only show software engineers in hoodies, Silicon Valley founders, lab scientists disconnected from community, coding as the only tech pathway, then we narrow imagination. Your workshop should expand possibility, not shrink it. This aligns with the Ubuntu-centered approach in the recommended reading knowledge base for Amy integrated version, which grounds instruction in Afrocentricity, cultural models of knowing, and community connected achievement. So Amy is another GPT that I have, and as a part of developing Janiyah, I included the information from Amy. So that's why Amy appears here. So in case you get something that talks about Amy, it's okay. It's fine. You could also ask, "What are you talking about?" And Janiyah should be able to give you more context. But that recommended reading knowledge base is one of the files that has been uploaded into both Amy GPT and Janiyah GPT. So just one more time, this aligns with Ubuntu-centered approach in the recommended reading knowledge base for Amy integrated version, which grounds instruction in Afrocentricity, cultural models of knowing, and community connected achievement. All right, number two, what facilitators should double check. Here's a practical checklist you can use before presenting career examples. A, representation audit. Ask yourself, do my examples include Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women? Are they shown as leaders, innovators, and designers, not just participants? Do I include interdisciplinary roles, not just coding? For example, instead of only saying AI engineer, expand to AI ethics specialist, UX researcher, data storyteller, ed tech designer, climate data analyst, health informatics advocate. The Traditional versus Emerging Careers blog reminds us that emerging careers blend fields. That blending allows students to see themselves in STEM through art, policy, community, or storytelling. So, that Traditional versus Emerging Careers blog is from the BlackLiberation.Tech website. All right. B, deficit language check. All right. Watch out for subtle framing like, we need more girls in STEM because they're behind. You can succeed even though you come from, well, shift to asset framing. Your bilingualism is a data literacy advantage. Your community problem solving skills are systems thinking. Your storytelling is human centered design. This mirrors the strength-based framing in the Ashley and Savannah Workbook 1, where girls are positioned as innovators navigating systems, not lacking talent. And so Janiyah is telling you where she's getting this information from. A lot of this information can be found on the BlackLiberation.Tech website, and you are welcome to use the search feature. So if you go to the menu, and you hit search, you can click there and type in some of the text that she's referring to and see if it pops up in the BlackLiberation.Tech website. Okay. C, pathway diversity check. Are you only representing four-year university to tech company? So are you only representing the four-year university to tech company pipeline? Or are you also including community college, certification to UX researcher, self-taught plus mentorship, producing a portfolio-based career, policy plus tech, health plus AI, art plus coding, grassroots organizing plus digital tools? The career blog posts encourage matching talents to fields rather than forcing narrow pipelines. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. D, access and safety check. When introducing digital careers, also ask, am I teaching protected access? Do students understand privacy and data ownership? Are we discussing who benefits from AI systems? The protected access framing in Safety First reminds us that access without protection can reproduce harm. Equity means not just entry, but safety and agency. So if I'm saying that I am doing an AI literacy workshop for purposes of equity, that is not enough for me to say, okay, I'm giving people an entry point into this arena. I need to make sure that that entry point, that access that I'm providing is also safe and allows them to use their agency at the same time. So they need to have a choice in the matter. Okay, number 3, practical strategy, bias aware prompting. If you're using AI live in your workshop, model this explicitly. Instead of suggest top STEM careers, try suggest emerging STEM careers, highlighting contributions and leadership pathways for Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women, including interdisciplinary and community-centered roles. Then pause and ask participants, what patterns do you notice? Who is centered? Who is missing? That meta awareness builds AI literacy. Now, when we say meta awareness, I'm going to say way of thinking, but let's do a quick look up. Metacognition is an awareness of one's thought processes and understanding of patterns behind them. Okay, so the meta awareness builds AI literacy. So your thought processes, the way you're thinking, your knowledge of how you're thinking in terms of AI is going to, in terms of how you engage with AI, builds AI literacy. All right, number 4, highlight real narratives of excellence. Representation should be multidimensional. For example, the narrative of Nicole Bakula Garcia, a UX researcher, blending design, research, and community empowerment shows career pivoting, cross-cultural leadership, and research as advocacy. That disrupts the stereotype that STEM equals isolated technical work. And so Nicole Bakula Garcia is one of the main characters on the BlackLiberation.tech website, and she represents those who were a part of the research to develop BlackLiberation.tech. All right, number 5. A liberation-centered framing you can use in the workshop. You might say, STEM is not just about coding. It's about problem solving for your community. It's about designing tools that reflect your culture. It's about building systems that protect people, not just profits. That's Afrocentricity in practice. That's Ubuntu in motion. All right, reflect mode. For you as facilitator, pause and consider. When I think of STEM professionals, what image appears first in my mind? Where did that image come from? How might that image limit my students' imagination? Bias awareness starts with facilitator self-audit. Okay, and then she has some suggestions on how to move next. If you'd like, I can build a bias-resistant career slide template, create a bias awareness AI prompt bank for your workshop, design a short spot the stereotype activity, or help you script a facilitator reflection segment. You're not just teaching AI literacy, you're shaping career imagination for Latinas, Afro-Latinas, Black women, and girls. That's powerful work. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to thank her, and I'm going to say that I want to move on to the next prompt or my next question or my next inquiry. And the reason I'm thanking her is because since Janiyah is using language to have a conversation with me, and she bases her response on the information I give her. There's a saying that goes, you can attract more with honey than vinegar. And so we want to make sure we're being kind in our language in exchange of conversation so that there is a return kindness in the way the generative AI tool, in this case, Janiyah, responds. So I'm going to say thank you, Janiyah. And the reason I use her name is because I respond better when someone uses my name. And I will do the same for Janiyah. Okay. Thank you, Janiyah. I appreciate your insight. And I have saved your recommendations for later. Next, I would like to move on to another inquiry. Okay, and with that, I'm going to head back to the BlackLiberation.tech website and copy the next prompt. So, verification and limits prompt. Okay. So since I already said hi, Janiyah, I'm going to take that part out. I'll just take out hi. So this is the new prompt, verification and limits prompt. Janiyah, if I ask you for scholarship or college information, what are the limitations of your knowledge and how should I verify your suggestions? Let's take a look. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. And once again, save that in my file. Okay, so let's go back up to the top and see what Janiyah has to say about this. I'm so glad you asked this. This is AI literacy in action. When you ask me for scholarship or college information, I can absolutely support you, but I'm not a real-time admissions office, financial aid counselor, or scholarship committee. So let's talk clearly about my limits and how to verify responsibility. My knowledge limits, transparency first. As your AI literacy co-pilot, here's what you should know. I may not have real-time updates. Scholarships and college policies change frequently. Deadlines shift, eligibility criteria update, award amounts change, programs close or pause funding. Unless I explicitly use real-time web browsing and tell you my responses may be based on patterns, historical data, or general knowledge. Number 2, I can hallucinate specific details. AI systems sometimes generate incorrect award amounts, slightly wrong eligibility requirements, outdated GPA minimums, programs that once existed but no longer do. Even when I sound confident, confidence does not equal guaranteed accuracy. All right, number 3, I don't know your personal data unless you share it. I don't automatically know your GPA, immigration status, financial need category, residency requirements, institutional deadlines. So recommendations are general unless you provide context. And even then, they are suggestions, not official determinations. Number 4, I cannot confirm eligibility. I can help you interpret criteria, help you draft questions to admissions, help you prepare application materials. I cannot confirm you qualify, submit applications, or access internet scholarship databases. How to verify my scholarship or college suggestions. Here's your verification framework, especially important for Latinas, Afro-Latinas, Black women, and girls navigating systems that weren't always designed for them in mind. Step 1, go to the official source. Always confirm via the official college website, financial aid page, the scholarship organization's website, the .edu domain when possible, contact email listed on the official site, not random links. Check deadline, award amount, eligibility criteria, and application materials required. Step 2, cross-check with a human. So here are some verification partners who you can check with: high school counselor, college financial aid office, TRIO or Upward Bound advisor, community-based college access program, trusted nonprofit organization. Ubuntu reminder, we verify in community. All right, step number 3, check for red flags. Be cautious if the scholarship asks for upfront payment. The website URL looks suspicious. There is no physical address listed. Grammar is unprofessional. Or they promise guaranteed awards. Remember the protected access framing from Safety First. Access must also be safe. Step 4, ask me to show my reasoning. You can strengthen our interaction by asking, what assumptions are you making? What year is this information based on? Is this confirmed or an example? Or can you give me a checklist to verify this? That's advanced AI literacy. All right, next. How I'm most useful in scholarship and college searches. Here's where I add real value, clarifying your search strategy. Instead of give me scholarships, try I'm a first generation Afro Latina student interested in environmental science, GPA 3.7, living in Georgia. What categories of scholarships should I search for? So, in response to that, these are some things that Janiyah can do. I can identify search keywords, suggest scholarship categories, help structure tracking spreadsheets, draft inquiry emails, help interpret award letters, or create comparison frameworks between colleges. Ethics and equity reminder. Scholarship systems can reflect structural inequities. So, always ask, who funds this scholarship? What values are embedded in eligibility criteria? And does this align with my identity and long-term goals? AI can help surface options, but you must align them with purpose. Reflect mode. As a facilitator, consider modeling this statement in workshops. AI can help us brainstorm opportunities, but it does not replace official verification. We verify scholarships the same way we verify research, by checking primary sources. So go to the source. That models digital literacy and agency. All right. And then she provides some suggestions. If you like, I can build a scholarship verification checklist template, a college comparison matrix, a safe search prompt bank, or a scholarship scam detector mini lesson. You're moving into higher level AI literacy, not just using AI, but interrogating it. That's powerful. All right, so that was the first of 2 facilitator prompts. What I'm going to do is I'm going to push pause here and we'll come back next week for the rest. So, with all that being said, I hope that you got something out of today's lesson. I hope that you go and check out the Janiyah GPT Intro Workshop and try some of the conversation starters and get back to me and let me know what you think. And if you discovered something that might help me improve it, please feel free to share that as well in the comments. So, once again, thank you for listening to another episode of the Black Liberation Tech podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Renee Jordan. Please feel free to like, subscribe, and share, rate, and review the podcast to help it become more discoverable. And until next time, take care. Bye bye.